A forgotten artifact lies in pieces on a planet far from Earth. Few know it exists except those who took it back and those whose ancestors created it. 4 young people are thrown into a race against emissaries of the gods to find its pieces. Mistrust, greed, and magic are tangled in an endless web. What will the fate be of the universe once it is found and reassembled? Get Scepter of the Gods, The Rod of Truth now on Amazon, and get wrapped up in the saga that will not let you go.
Good morning, and welcome to the Motivational Devotion, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. I hope that this morning's podcast will help you to be more spiritually and positively motivated so that you can transform your day.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Writer, and I want to thank you for joining me today as we continue our series, 50 Ways to Love Your Soul. I hope you've been able to follow along with this series and are finding it helpful in getting your new year going in the direction of your lifelong goals, as well as in deepening your spirituality. If you know anyone who could use some encouragement in setting goals or spiritual development, please share this podcast or the blog version from motivational-devotional.com. I thought of this 50 Ways to Love Your Soul series as a bridge from New Year's resolutions to Valentine's Day, with the intent to help us look at positive life changes as a means of loving oneself. With less than a week now to Valentine's Day, today would be an appropriate time to talk about what it means to love loving. Ever since those days when we first felt stirring within as a cute elementary school classmate smiled and we got all confused about these new feelings, most of us have had a love-hate relationship with what it means to be in love. Oh yeah, those sparks and fireworks that go off at the beginning of a relationship are awesome, aren't they? All those giddy, feel-good emotions seem to take control with almost a mind of their own, and all we can see is that this person has taken a liking to us, and boy, oh boy, do we like them. The high is powerful and intoxicating. That first kiss will send you to the moon. New moments in new places with a new person seem to rewrite a person's life story in such a way that nothing else seems to matter. It's new, and we say that we are falling in love because it really does feel like falling. Then it mellows into that phase when the new places become favorite places, the new moments become favorite things to do, and that new person is your favorite person. The first kiss has led to many more kisses and who knows what else, and those giddy, feel-good emotions evolve into a consistent state of feeling good about life. This is where all of us follow our divergent paths. Some people have issues that were no big deal amid all the new stuff, but after some time, habits, proclivities, social and political and religious views all begin to surface, and at some point, one or more of them becomes the elephant in the room that has to be dealt with. This phase is tenuous, and it is where people often break up because they keep tripping on or even ignoring the elephant or elephants in the room, or with people who have learned to love loving, those things get dealt with and managed. Maybe one or both people make changes, or maybe just talking about things relieves the stress that caused them in the first place. Somehow, people who successfully love loving keep moving through this phase into the next. As I see it, there aren't any phases after this third one. This can be lifelong, or something may happen along the way that becomes a deal breaker, like a betrayal, involvement in criminal activity, or some kind of thing like that. Otherwise, by this point, people have so committed themselves to love, the very act of loving, that they treat it like exercise and that they flex their hearts regularly for the health of the relationship. It is not for the faint of heart, nor for those who quit easily, and not for those who tend to dwell in the land of regret and resentment. To successfully love loving, you have to first love yourself with all the things we talked about so far in this series, as well as the things yet to come over the next 2 weeks. You have to be able to let go of the things that are not here and now and vital to the present. Some people hold grudges or place judgment for things in another person that happened well before the two got together. Some people have such deep regret for things they did in the past, also long before meeting this new person, that they bring that regret into a relationship that has nothing to do with it. When people love loving, they love the other person enough to trust that the person loves them unconditionally and they find healing by letting those things go. All of what I just said applies to loving other people, but this is a series that's titled 50 Ways to Love Yourself, isn't it? Well, could it be, just possibly, in some strange way, that all of what I have said so far applies to the relationship you have with yourself? Please trust me when I say that it does, but not quite literally. You don't look in the mirror and smile at yourself as if it is the first time you've seen yourself at your age, do you? Or can't you? Can you do that? Maybe it's like that thing that happens when two people who've known each other for decades suddenly realize that the best thing in life was right there all that time, and they smile, talk, and spark. Maybe your relationship with yourself can be just like that. Maybe you can realize that the person you've been looking for to bring the best things of life to you has been the person in the mirror all along. Maybe the person you've been beating up all your life deserves the very best of your love, and it is time to loving yourself. Maybe it's time to let things go. Release all the stuff that you've held against yourself, regretted, and resented. Maybe it is time to start counting on yourself. Trust yourself, invest in yourself, and make a lifelong commitment to courting the light of the universe that shines within. Love that. Love loving that light, because that is what will save you, and that will empower you to love the special someone in your life. If you do this, if you love loving, your life will be so much richer, and you will find in the process that all of creation is conspiring in your favor. Trust that the universe always has your back and is in the middle of the loving that you love. Advice columnist Ann Landers once said, "Love is friendship that has caught fire. It is quiet understanding, mutual confidence, sharing and forgiving. It is loyalty through good and bad times. It settles for less than perfection and makes allowances for human weaknesses."
Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @Threefold Way Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support, and thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Motivational Devotional is a production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.